I'm going to have a look at chimney regulations and best practice. In an ideal world, we are aiming at a chimney height of a minimum 4.5 metres from the top of the stove to the top of the chimney. That is an ideal situation, a minimum of 4.5 metres. But we don't live in an ideal world, and we have sheds and shacks and all sorts of short buildings. Here we have an extension and we have a 3.5 metre chimney on the stove. 3.5 metres is acceptable with modern twin wall chimney systems. We would always like to go higher, but we can get away with 3.5 metres, especially if the flue system is vertical. Bends create turbulence, so vertical is always good. We also have to follow the 2.3 metre rule. This is in building regulations and must be followed. This distance here, the distance between the cowl where the smoke comes out and the weather surface, must be a minimum of 2.3 metres. A minimum of 2.3 metres. Why? It's to do with turbulence from wind. We'll have wind over here and turbulence in all of this area. Now, somebody, somewhere in their wisdom, has decided that if we have separation of a minimum 2.3 metres, we avoid that turbulent air. We go high enough to avoid it. Looking at our extension, similar situation here. The same rule, we need a minimum 2.3 metres from the wall of the house to the cowl. Turbulent area around here. If we haven't got 2.3 metres, then we have two choices. We can move the stove further away from the property, or we keep going upwards until we achieve our 2.3 metres. I think we can agree that in this situation, that's not really feasible because of the sheer length of unsupported flue that we end up with. We are only allowed a certain number of bends in our twin wall system. We are allowed 4 bends. The maximum angle of bend is 45 degrees. We cannot do a 90-degree bend. So 45-degree bends are the maximum angle we can use. In this system, we have 2 bends. All good. You can also see on this drawing that we achieve our 2.3 metre rule. Just. Once we clear of the ridge, we've got 2.3 metres clear in all horizontal directions. In this next drawing, we have 4 bends, and we are allowed 4 bends. However, when you have 4 bends, you must have sweep door access in between the 2 outer bends. So we have to have a sweep door, here, or here, or here, or here, or here. Let's go back and have a look at our very first drawing. We have 4 bends in this drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our suck door on this drawing is here. So we're happy. Moving through, we also have something called the 20% rule. The ideal chimney is vertical. As I said earlier, we don't live in an ideal world, and sometimes we need to put an offset in. This is our offset here. This is a very long offset, and it makes up about 50% of the overall chimney length. In an ideal world, we want no more than 20% of the chimney to be off the vertical. This is not a building regulation, but it is best practice. The less of the flue that is off the vertical, the better the draw of the whole system. So stay as vertical as possible. And that's it for today. Easy peasy flue design.